There are now 3 reviews looking at various aspects of Super Cooper, the Henry Tax Review, and there's a parliamentary inquiry. Is the system that flawed it needs radical change?
The big message that the government is saying is it's not about the system being flawed, it's actually the fact that the system needs to be modernised. It's 20 years old. A lot of the framework that it was developed under was around if you like, a membership-based or a superannuation system 20 years ago. We now have a very different type of economy, and we have a very different type of membership. When super was first created, particularly with SGC, the assumption was that most people would be in the default fund. Now, whilst that is still correct, we have more and more members that are becoming more independent. They like the control. And what we need to start looking at are issues like, well, does the sole purpose test really sit comfortably in that environment anymore? If I'm a trustee and I have a group of members that are totally reliant on me, and I have another group of members in the same fund that really are reliant for some services but want to exercise investment choice, how does that actually work out practically and from a liability point of view? And that is the type of discussion I think will happen over the next 12 months. In terms of the Henry Review, the important thing about the Henry Review is that super and the retirement system is one part of the whole taxation framework, and ASFA has been calling for that for quite some time. The tax incentives you get in super should be seen in the whole picture of how taxation works, both in terms of funds, the way they operate, managed investments, the way they operate, and general taxation. So it's not unusual and it was due to happen, and it's good that it is happening.
There has been some discussion about mandating the nature of default funds. Do you expect that to happen?
Yeah. Look, I think we will see some changes to default funds. I think what is clear is that a default fund for a 20-year-old may not be the appropriate default fund for a 55-year-old. And what is happening with a lot of trustees is, again, because of the regulatory framework, how does that play out? Do I actually have a legal obligation to put a 20-year-old in a high growth default, or is that actually meaning that if that default fund goes negative at some stage, am I suddenly increasing my liability? So these are real questions that trustees are asking now.